So let's start with Selenium history, right? So actually, the word Selenium came into market from 2004. The guy from ThoughtWorks company, he was frustrated with his manual testing actually. So he used some little bit Java jar files, and he tried to automate his website. That is nothing but now we are calling Selenium. Means the first Selenium step took from company ThoughtWorks in 2004. Right. The first tool came into market was Selenium IDE. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. So IDE is an record and playback tool. Okay, what I am telling, I'll just write down here. But after completing the course, I'll forward you this document, what we discussed in the class. Okay. So I made a rough document here. I'll make a changes and I will send you back the neat document after completing the course by end of the day. Right. First version is Selenium IDE. Basically, it is only the record and playback tool. Okay, IDE is a record and playback tool. Only just we can record and playback, and it has some features. But the basic disadvantage of IDE is it comes only with Firefox plugin. This will comes only with Firefox plugin, so we can record and playback things only in Firefox browser. As we are manual testers, we should do in all the browsers and all the platforms and different we have. If you are a manual tester, you will come to know because we have to do in Internet Explorer, Chrome, we have to test our website in different things. But this IDE can do only in Firefox. So this is the basic disadvantage with the Selenium IDE. So in practical, we nowhere in companies they will do just automation by only using Selenium IDE because there are a lot more powerful tools other than this because it works only with Firefox IDE. Right? It has its own features, but this is the main disadvantage why this is not become much popular compared to other tools in the 2005 and 6. Later, later they came with one more version that is Selenium 1.0 that is RC. RC is nothing but remote control server. I'll just write here rough notes and I'll send you the clear document by end of the day. This is remote control server. This is where we can write our programming language and automate our websites. Okay, this can be done not only in Firefox, even in all, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and all other browsers. This has enhancement done from IDE. So from here, the Selenium started playing a role in the market. Okay, for RCE support IE Explorer and all remaining browsers, which we'll discuss now. What is going to support with this? RC came into market, and RC has its own features like by writing programming language, and we can automate a website clearly like any other tool. But as websites are becoming day by day more and more robust, and in terms of security, it's become more robust and rich API collection. Like now they are using some Ajax Java concepts, and due to all these and latest versions are coming for each browser, Firefox, Google Chrome, and day by day growth in website development, RC is struggling a lot. No, RC have is not able to handle the rich API which it is used to do in the before previous years. As the websites is becoming more and more robust here in the security terms, and every browser, Firefox, Chrome has been releasing their recent versions, and RC is facing like, difficulties to handle all those. And one more thing, the market which is presently going is Android. RC cannot support Android, right? So because of these advantages, though RC is a powerful tool, it is lagging behind in the market for automation testing tool. Now, to overcome all these features, in 2009, they came up with a new version that is Selenium 2.0, nothing but WebDriver. WebDriver existed and overcome all the disadvantages of RC, right? So we'll deal what is the difference between RC and WebDriver, where a WebDriver is better than RC. Just we'll come to know slow day by day. So this is like brief introduction about Selenium. Like first, it started with IDE. IDE is only Firefox plugin. Other than that, it can record and playback only in IDE. And later RCE. Of course, it is a powerful tool, but it has a lot of disadvantages that it can't support in Android driver, and it does not handle rich API like styles, buttons. If website have some rich API, RC fails to support that particular website in that browser. And now to overcome all these disadvantages, they released 2.0 version WebDriver. Now let's see what is WebDriver and how to handle all the stuff in it. Okay, this is about a brief introduction about Selenium. The first point to note, first point will come into mind when we heard about Selenium is it is an open source automation testing tool. Like open source in the sense we can configure everything at the free of cost. There's nothing to pay and to get license for Selenium. One thing you have to note here, Selenium is nothing but you won't get a special tool. Like if you know about QTP, there is a special tool like QTP tool where we can do something. Here Selenium nothing but you don't get any Selenium perfectly tool. All the assemble parts to write code we will use one editor called Eclipse, which I will discuss you now. And we'll just download only jar files. Just jar files we will download of WebDriver. With that we will start automation. This is nothing but downloading tool something and doing, and it's completely free of cost. That is why this has become the hot in the market now after WebDriver existence. After WebDriver is showing its power in the automating the websites, this Selenium has become hot in the market, right? It is an open source testing tool. And one more thing to note, it is used only for web-based applications. If your website is completely okay, just can you hear my voice now? A little bit loud. Okay, this it is used only for web-based applications. If your website is having complete window-based, then Selenium is not right tool to automate that. Oh, okay, yes, thanks. By using this Selenium, we can automate only web-based applications. This is like little bit disadvantage of Selenium, but in Connect market, we all are dealing with websites and internet only. Okay, okay. Till now, you have any slight doubts about history of Selenium? Other going forward?
It can also be used for mobile applications, right?
Yes, WebDriver. Now it is can't be used for RC, but for WebDriver, Android driver, iPhone driver, we can use for mobile application also to automate. It's possible only with new version of Selenium, that is WebDriver. Any other doubts?
Can you explain how WebDriver works?
Yeah. Just I'm talking about history. Like I'll explain how exactly WebDriver architecture works. I'm just talking about what is Selenium, just not WebDriver and not RC. Okay, I'm just talking about history, how it existed now at present.
So this course will only cover the WebDriver and not the RC or IDE. Is that correct?
This course will completely cover about WebDriver, and we'll show how can be done in RC. But thoroughly we will not do again start from RC, but syntaxes only differs from WebDriver and RC. I'll make a table and I will show the differences between how it can be done in WebDriver and same step how can you use in RC. But this course is come exclusively all the programs, and we'll be writing code everything in WebDriver only. But basically, I'll give you the syntax steps and how can we do same step in RC. But in general, we'll be dealing with WebDriver. ID is nothing. It's just a record and playback tool. It has some advantages, but this course deals with WebDriver, new version of Selenium. Okay. Any other doubts? Can I proceed further?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So other thing to note here is it is used only for web-based applications. It currently there is other tool in the market QTP, though it supports window and web-based, but here our Selenium supports only web-based. That is the point to note here. Two main points. One is it is open source tool, and other is it is web-based. Right. Next thing is you can work in multiple operating systems. Right. This is the main future of Selenium. Like any other tool, if you take, for example, QTP, it works only in Windows. But unlike Selenium, will work in other platforms also. Let's see here what are the platforms that Selenium supports. Windows, OS, Linux, Solaris. That means you can automate your website either in Windows, either in OS X, or in Linux, or in Solaris. You have multiple platform compatibility using this Selenium. Okay, Selenium in the sense RC and WebDriver comes under it. Even using RC also you can do these platforms. Okay, when WebDriver special unique features come, I just wrote here. I will explain here only WebDriver things which it can do. If I mention Selenium word here, that means both RC and WebDriver can do it. I mean both RC and WebDriver is are web based and they are both in multi operating systems. Like platforms it supports. I told you right, it supports in multiple platforms. It will be Windows, Linux, and Solaris. If you want to automate your website in any other platform, as we are QA testers, we don't know what test cases we may get. They may ask to do in OS some Solaris, some Linux, right? We have to check in all the possibility ways to make our website robust, and Selenium exactly supports this by supporting in multiple platforms. This is the main advantage and a unique feature of Selenium what we are having. Next, in what languages can we write code? This is the next question we arise. Okay, there is no unique language for Selenium to write in code. We can use Java, C Sharp, Ruby, Python, PHP, and Perl. Total 6 languages we use, right, to write a code in Selenium. That I mean, you can use any of above 6 languages, right? For example, it doesn't mean that if your website is built with C sharp code, so that you have to use C sharp code of Selenium to automate that. It doesn't mean like that. Though your website is built in C sharp, you can use Java language to automate that website. That's the beauty of Selenium, right? It, it is independent of language which it is which the website is built. Okay, if it is built in Ruby also, you can do with Java. If it is built, if website is developed with Java also, you can use C Sharp to automate. But in our course, we use Java language to write a code in Selenium. So in market also at present, Java is a more powerful language, and mostly people are using only Java to write the Selenium WebDriver code. So these are total 6 languages where we can write our code in the Selenium. Java, C Sharp, and all this. And it is independent of website. Any website you take, any website in above from 6 languages, any language you can use to automate. And in our course going forward, we will use Java, right? Okay. Before going the step why WebDriver, so let's brush up again the concepts once again clearly. I'll just give summary of the for 15 minutes class. IDE, Integrated Development Environment. It is a record and playback tool. It's the first tool from the Selenium. It comes as a Firefox plugin. So we can automate, we can record and playback things only in Firefox. So this is the main disadvantage. Later, the other version of the Selenium is released. It is Selenium 1.0, nothing but RC. RC is nothing but remote control server. It has its own advantages, like we can use programming language code to automate. It works in other browsers also, not only like except in Firefox, it works in other browsers, but it has two disadvantages. As websites are becoming more and more robust, it is failing to handle rich API collection, and it is also failing to handle new versions of browsers like Firefox 14, Chrome 13, like that. And for mobile support, it does not have mobile testing support. these are some drawbacks of RC. To overcome all these, WebDriver came into existence in the 2009. Right? This is the brief history about Selenium, and the three important points to note: it is an open source testing tool. One, we can use it only for web-based applications. Two, and it supports multiple operating systems. This is the main feature of Selenium. And we also seen the quick platform supports, the 4 platforms the WebDriver supports: Windows, OS, Linux, Solaris, right? And the languages where we write, total 6 languages we can write. Again, I'm telling, though your website, this is maybe interview question, I'm telling that is why. Uh, the interview question was, I have my website built in C Sharp. So what language of Selenium should I use to automate the website which is built in C Sharp? You can use any. Just don't, this is not like we have to use only C Sharp here. It is language independent browser. You can use any language to automate a website which is built in any language. Okay, this is a good thing about Selenium. Okay, before going to how WebDriver works, what is it architecture? Do you have any doubts still now? Please let me know. No doubts, right? Hello?
No.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, work it.
Are you clear with that history, brief history?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll see WebDriver. I'll explain just how WebDriver in architecture works. See, first of all, I'll explain how RC architecture works and how WebDriver works next. Basically, this is some editor where we write our code. We'll discuss about Eclipse later. Just here we'll write our code, and this is our website. In between these two, there is a proxy server called Selenium RC. This is a server, remote control server. This is an RK architecture, RC architecture, which I am discussing now, not WebDriver. Okay, when we write our code, first it will go to RC server. Then this server will interpret the commands. What we have Selenium commands. Here we will give Selenium commands, right? It will interpret one by one, step by step, and based on that, it will call particular function in website. So between the actual website where we are automating and between this code, we have special server called RC server. This is nothing but proxy server is there between the application and the test and our code. First of all, once again, I am telling the steps after this code, it will inject into server, and RC command interprets the command step by step, and based on that, it will call particular function in website. So if you want to click something, here we will write as some selenium.click, then we'll send here. This RC server interprets, it has its Selenium server backend. By seeing selenium.click, it will come to know something should be clicked on that website, and that particular web function is performed here, and it will get clicked. So main thing here to note is, like this is also an interview question, is that there is any direct interaction between the browser and editor where we write code in RC? No. There is a proxy server between these two. That proxy server is an RC server. Like its name itself says RC, right? Remote control server, which interprets Selenium commands step by step, and particular actions it performed by sending it into website. This is about RC architecture and how internally it works. Now we'll see about WebDriver architecture. This is our application, and this is browser. So it directly calls to browser events. Like if you want to click something, it directly talks with the browser language and will get clicked. There is no server in the middle of the application and the editor. This is the main advantage of WebDriver. Even the tests are the execution of test is faster compared to RC because there is no server bit proxies between actual application which we are going to test and our editor. It will directly talk to the browser language. If you want to click, there are some browser event methods in the code. When we write some WebDriver dot click, it go directly and talk to the browser and get clicked. So there is direct communication between the programming language editor and this application under test. This is also a question. There is no proxy server between these two in WebDriver. But in RC, we have a proxy server between those which to interpret commands. This is the basic difference between WebDriver and RC architecture. Basic definition of WebDriver is it calls directly the browser native methods, unlike RC. But in the RC, we have a proxy server for communication between application under test and the editor. Right? This is the basic difference you have to note. Let's go back to our thing. This is how internally WebDriver and RC works, internal architecture, what's exactly happening in the backend, right? So let's see why to move to WebDriver from RC. No server required to start. See here in RC, I told you right before, there should be proxy server between that. To write our code, we have to start server by giving some commands in command prompt. Before running the code in RC, we have to start the proxy server. We can do it by going RC command, by going in command prompt. We have to go command prompt, and there we have to give some commands to start the server. But in WebDriver, there is nothing like that. There is nothing going to command prompt and starting some server. We can directly click on run button to run the code. I'll show you when we start writing a first WebDriver program code. And after completing the program in RC, again you have to stop the server. Before starting, you have to start, and after completing, you have to stop. This is a little bit headache you actually face in RC. Every time to run every program, you have to go back to command prompt and use some commands to start, and there is nothing like that in WebDriver. This is the main flexibility we have using WebDriver. This is the first basic point, no server required to start. Why no server? Because I just told internal architecture, right? There is no server something between these two. That is why nothing to start here by using WebDriver. Next, for in RC, there is no support for Android and iPhone platform. Now, in current market, though everything is coming in the terms of Android. Android compatibility, iPhones. If you want to test your mobile Android testing, then you can't perform with it in RC. But same thing you can perform with WebDriver. By writing same code, you can test the website either in your system or same code you can use to test the same website in your Android phone. Same code we will use. Just one change is there, like classes we have to change. I'll tell you that time. So you can happily automate your test cases even in Android. It supports both Android and iPhone platform also. This is the other more advantage using WebDriver in current market, and in the future everything we are getting in Android in the terms of Android platforms, and WebDriver happily supports it. The third point to go to WebDriver is it can handle rich API. I mean API in the sense the websites, if you click on something without without page will not get loaded, but that value will get updated. If you see some stores or some ebay.com, if you select some and click on submit, page will be like that only, but inside it will get refreshed. Then like some we'll call as ajax to handle all these ajax asynchronous javascripts. All those are there are some rich API, the button styles and everything. Say RC is finding it's getting hard to handle all those stuff, but using WebDriver we can handle even any rich API collection, like however the website, however style it may be, the button style, however it may be, we can handle happily by using WebDriver. That is one more advantage to switching. No, I'm just explaining now why we are switching from RC to WebDriver. Okay, these may be useful for you anytime. Anytime anyone may ask why WebDriver. These are the questions. There is no first point. There is no RC server or something proxy server to start. Our code will directly talk to browser language in WebDriver, and we have here support for Android and iPhone. And third point, as I discussed, it will handle rich API. And next thing is it can handle mouse movements. Like a WebDriver can handle mouse movements. There is no handle of this in RC. Like if you are moving to particular place and if you want to right click there and if you want to perform with the mouse holding down control, if you want to click control plus alt plus delete, you can't do with it with RC. But with WebDriver, you can hold control and alt and you can click and delete. Like all the mouse movement stuff, all the mouse things you can do clearly with WebDriver that which you can't perform it in RC. Like clicking on right click and you have to see the view source code. You can't click right click using RC. So for the all the mouse movements, we have special interfaces in our WebDriver. By using that, we can handle even mouse movements. It directly talks to browser. Unlike RC, it does not use any proxy server. Right? We discussed this point before in architecture. Right? It directly talks to browser and it does not use any proxy server. That is the reason there is no server required to start here. Next point. It supports all the latest versions of Firefox. Yes, even all Firefox, Google Chrome, it supports all the latest versions. And RC fails to support Firefox 13 and 14. With WebDriver, we can support all the latest versions, whatever the version may be released, and WebDriver supports that. This is the main point to know. Next thing, all future enhancements can be done in WebDriver only. Selenium team officially declared that RC is faded out. All the future enhancements they work in their team will be done in WebDriver only. If some new version of Firefox comes, so they will do some changes so that WebDriver works it, but they won't touch RC. RC is faded out. The RC is older version now. All further enhancements in the website, any future API styles what come also, web, all enhancements these Selenium people will do in WebDriver only. So we can see updations in the future in WebDriver only, but not in RC. RC is stopped till there. Now it's an officially older version of Selenium. That is why all the projects in the market are now turning into WebDriver. There is no use of using RC now because if there is some more powerful version of same Selenium, then why people will sit with RC? So at present, if they are they're going to start a project, then definitely they'll go with WebDriver. If they have already projects with RC, now they are migrating to WebDriver because all future is WebDriver only in Selenium. There is no term like RC and just nothing. So I just explaining you the history why it switched from RC to WebDriver within 2 years. And these are the main points to note. All these 6 points are the major points. I think other than this, there is nothing like why differences. These are the main 7 reasons why we are switching to WebDriver. Okay. Any doubts till now? Like why we are going to WebDriver?
Well, I just have probably you'll explain this later. I'm just wondering how does the WebDriver work? Like, so since we don't have that proxy anymore, how does it know what operating system or browser, like what requirements does it need to run um, browser operations?
Yeah, okay. There is yes, good question, but we will discuss it when we are writing the first program of WebDriver. You are asking how it will work for one particular browser and how internally it's happening, right? How it will
Yeah.
work for Firefox, Internet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that we will discuss when we are writing even in code we will write. Do with Firefox, do with Internet Explorer. We will write in our automation steps itself. So when we are writing the first program of WebDriver, we will clearly know uh, in why we are using Firefox and how it is doing in Firefox and how it is doing in Internet Explorer. There are special classes and interfaces. I'll explain you clearly when we are writing the first program of WebDriver, how internally happening. Okay. Any other questions?
Mm, I guess about updating the WebDriver or sorry new later releases of Chrome and Firefox. I recall when using RC, we'd have to wait like a week or something for a new release of it until it supports the latest version of Firefox and Chrome. Will we still have to wait like that for the WebDriver?
Actually, here is the latest versions of Firefox. If I mean in Chrome and versions, the RC is not able to support those actually. So there are some, it's failing to support the latest version of Firefox and Chrome, which was released in the market due to some API interactions or nothing. But the WebDriver is able to handle all the latest versions. I mean to say, the point here basically explains RC is not supporting 13. Of course, it is supporting like, but it may be supporting, but inside when we are automating something, it's failing to identify the objects, elements using RC. If you are using 13 browser, same code, you use it in 4 or 5 browser, it is working perfectly using RC.
Right.
There is something to automate. Same
Yeah.
thing is perfectly working in version 4 or 5, but if you use 13 or 14, it's getting failed.
Okay. I guess the question was, does WebDriver, like, when there are later releases of Firefox and Chrome, will we have to wait for the Selenium team to update WebDriver to support those newer versions?
Okay. Okay. Actually, whatever the version is released, it will support. But if you feel that a WebDriver is not able to support a particularly in this new version, like as it is open source tool, we have special Selenium official documentation. There will file the bug relating that it is not working here. For example, in Android, it is failing to handle one XPath topic. I'll tell you what is XPath. A little concept is failing to handle in Android. Now they raised a bug regarding that, and Selenium team is working to fix that bug. Like how it basically works is it will support, but it will fail with little versions. If it fail also, when we raise a bug or when they bring their notice, they work hard and they fix. I think 1 or 2 months they'll get fixed. Generally, it happens. It's cycle like if you fail to support or something, people will raise a bug in the official documentation and the team will sit and fix it. Like this, it's now for Android. Currently, there are some little loopholes by using WebDriver. That does it by using WebDriver we can automate, but there are XPath. It is not handling little bit things. So I just saw 2 days back they raised a bug on that, and team is trying to fix, and they told will make changes so that WebDriver will support that. It will happen in quick because WebDriver internally it has a rich API and it is built with rich API. So maximum 99% it will be handled. But little bit if it is there also, people will get the Selenium team will fix it soon.
Mhm.
But in case of RC, it's supporting it's failing in the main parts, whole parts it's getting failed. Like basic stuff also it's getting failed in RC. But in WebDriver, it hardly some typical interactions it's little bit getting failed. But using Android, I know, but Firefox at current it's working perfectly.
Okay,
Clear?
great. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other doubts? Okay, I'm proceeding further. What browsers that WebDriver support? Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, Opera, and Android. These 5 browsers WebDriver is going to support currently now. I mean, you can automate your website using Internet Explorer or even Firefox, Chrome, Opera, and Android. You can use any version of the above 5 so that you can do it. Whereas you know that RC will not support Android. That's the only difference between RC and WebDriver here. Okay, these are the browsers
So,
and
so WebDriver doesn't
hello.
support Safari. WebDriver doesn't support Safari.
You
Safari
mean
browser.
WebDriver? It's having it's a little bit problem with Safari actually. So Safari it's failing in some things to support. Why is your website using Safari to automate in your company?
No, it should be
Actually,
executed
Safari
on.
yeah, it is having a little bit problem which I can show you in net where people getting problem with Safari browser. But we can automate. We have drivers also for that. But I will show you the where we can see that. I'll show that the blog where Safari is getting failed. But it perfected is working for current browsers. It has a little bit problems with that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. These are 5 browser support, and OS support is these four: Windows OS, Linux, Solaris, and these are the language which we can write Selenium, and these are the reasons why we are switching to WebDriver. And the 3 steps which are like hard to Selenium, open source, it is only for web based, and it work on multiple operating system. And I also explained you the architecture. I will mail you this document once completing the class, so that you can refer what are the again what are the platforms or languages and browsers it support. Are you clear with the introduction of the Selenium history here? Any doubts before going to other topic?
No doubt.
Yeah, please feel free to ask if you have any. So, can I proceed further? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. Can I proceed further?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. This is a brief introduction about Selenium. Now, where we write our code, I mean, we need editor, right? Where we actually write our code. 1 second. Okay, we need editor to write our code somewhere. Like we don't have special Selenium tool where we can go and we don't have any special Selenium code where we can go and write the tool and everything. For that, there are 2 editors in the market. One is Eclipse and one there is IntelliJ. There are 2 tools. These are the 2 tools where we can write our code. But here we'll use Eclipse to write our code and to run our Selenium.
One question is like, can we use NetBeans also?
NetBeans is, yeah, in Eclipse there are different, you mean type of Eclipse, right? NetBeans?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can use, there are different types of Eclipse. I mean, methods are there. You can use any Eclipse method to automate that. I mean, any Eclipse thing. Either it may be IDE, or I generally prefer IDE, Java IDE to write the code.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Here, Eclipse, where we basically write our code. Click on Google search Eclipse download. You will get here. Click on this link. Eclipse downloads. See, this is a type of Eclipse IDE for Java developer, Java EE developers, Eclipse Classic. Select the first one, Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. 32-bit, 62-bit. If your system is 32-bit, go for 32-bit. If it is 64, go for 62. Okay, just click download here. It's really 221 MB. It takes little bit time. After completing the course, you download this. I have it in my machine. Once you download this particular first one, type this is the official website. I'll paste here in document, so that I'll send you. Download the Eclipse from this site. Then after downloading, it will look like this. It will come in zip file. You just extract it, then you will get folder like this. After you extract from zip file, this is the exe file. Right? Double click this, and your Eclipse will open like this. This is where basically we write our Selenium code. Once again, I'll tell you. Just nothing. Type in Google search Eclipse download. You will get this link. Select the first one there and just download. It's 223 MB. You will get in zip file, extract it, and this is .exe file. In this color, it will be 312 KB. Just click on it. It will get open. You can see editor like this. right? This is the way to download the editor of Selenium. Nothing but Eclipse. We'll mention. We'll call as editor of Selenium where we write our code basically. Okay, this is Project Explorer, and this is the here. You see here, this is project. This area is where we create our projects, and this is the area where we write our code. I'll tell you how to create a project and how to write the class and everything. Just be patient. Okay, we have seen what is Selenium history and why WebDriver. We saw this also, right? Why we are merging into it, and we have also seen Eclipse download, right? Till now, we have not downloaded anything regarding Selenium. We just downloaded one Eclipse where we write our code, but nowhere we downloaded anything about Selenium till now. Now, as we are dealing with WebDriver, we will start with WebDriver jar files. I will tell you. Our course is going forward WebDriver. We need WebDriver jar files to write code and automate our websites. Only thing we have to download is WebDriver jar files. That is the only thing we will download from Selenium software. Selenium software is nothing like Selenium software is nothing like installing. Just configuring Selenium. Don't call as installing Selenium. It's configuring Selenium only. Like just we will download jar files. It's some in KBs, and we will use that jar files into project. That's all. That is the only configuring Selenium. There is nothing more like downloading, installing Selenium. Like just we'll call as configuring Selenium. Now we'll see how to download WebDriver jar files and how to import it into project. First step. For everything, you have to go to this Selenium official documentation. Official website. Type in Google. Click on download Selenium. This link. Okay. Come down. Okay, I will give you screenshots of this. Just no need to now note down. If you are getting note down how to do all this stuff, I will give you screenshots like from Google search page, like how to come to this link and everything. I'll send you by end of the day. Click here, come down. As we are using Java, right? We are dealing with Java, and go for download. See here, download thing is there. If you are automating using C Sharp, download C Sharp jar files. Ruby. As you go with Java, click here this. It will get downloaded. See here down, Selenium Java 2.25 version, some 21 MB. It will come in zip format. I cancel it because I already have it in my system. I will show how it looks like after you download. Okay. I'll show in Eclipse. Once you download, you will get like this. Selenium 2. Okay, I have 2.20 version. You are downloading 2.25 version, right? You will get after it will get in first of all in zip format. Once you extract from zip format, it will get like this, Selenium 2.25. Click here. Okay, you will get like this folder. Once again, I'm telling, you will get folder like this. Once you extract it, just click on this link, and these are the jar files. These two are jar files, and click on lists. You will get many jar files. Just thing we have to do is import these jar files into our Eclipse project. That's it. Go on, start writing code. There is nothing like installing Selenium or nothing. Just these jar files we have to import into our project. I'll tell you how to import and how to create the project in the Eclipse, how to start everything. I'll tell you. I'm just giving a brief overview. Just import the jar files into our project and write the program. That's it about Selenium WebDriver. To install and configure means it's nothing. Okay. Did you get right? I just go to the Selenium official website. I will give you this link here. This is for downloading jar files. One second. User. This is for downloading jar files, and this is for Eclipse. right? Go there and download this one. I told you, right? You are doing, first of all, no, for with what language you are doing. You're doing with Java, just come here and get download, and see it will get downloaded here. Extract it. That's it. Now, two things we have done here. Let's go back to our schedule. Eclipse download completed and WebDriver jar files completed. Right. We came to know, right, how we have to download jar files from Selenium official documentation and how to download Eclipse. One thing to notice, both will come in zip format, extract it, and we have also seen why WebDriver and Selenium history. Any doubts still now in downloading Eclipse and WebDriver?
No.
No doubts, right?
No.
Okay, good. Next thing is how to create a project in Eclipse. Okay, you will get like this. As you are doing for first time, you won't get all this stuff. I have already all these projects. Just move your mouse to Project Explorer. That's all, and give right click here. This will open. Let's do one thing. I'll do screenshots in presence of you, and I'll send you the document how to create a project. Okay, we'll start with screenshots. Just right click here. Okay, this is the first screenshot. Right click in Project Explorer pane. I'll take this screenshot. After right clicking, go to new, and you see here after blinking on you will get like project. See here project. I'll take this. Once again, right click new project, click on this project. You will get a window like this. Here we are doing Java project, right? Click on here Java project. Click on the first one and click on next button. Yes, this is other screen. Here you have to give your project name. Our project name, as today's Friday, I'll give the Friday is our project name, for example. Okay, or I'll give as web day one. This is our day one class, right? This is our day one. Here you have to give project name, and it will ask you default location. You can unclick here, and you can use where you have to store in your computer, where in system where you can browse and select location where you actually want to store this project. Okay, I'll give default location. It will store in my user's workspace, and it is about what Java you are using. Right? Click on finish. Just click on finish button. You just give project name. Just click on finish. This window will open. Here you just click no on it. There's nothing. Just I'll give a screenshot also. Just click no. Okay. See here web day one. Can you see here web day one is a project created here. Just open this. Inside you will have one folder like src, where basically we'll write code in this folder by creating classes. Okay, these are all Java jar files. Okay, one more thing you have to notice before downloading Eclipse, check in your system that whether you have Java or not. If you don't have Java, you can't install Eclipse. So if you just how to check you right? Just go start computer in program go to program files and see folder called okay in program files in 86-bit. See here Java folder is there or not. If it is there, enough, leave it. Eclipse will work and everything will work. Just see you have Java folder in your program files or not. If not, no problem. You can just download Java also. Just click on Java download and you can get here free Java software directly. See that yours is 34-bit or 64-bit, and based on that you just download. I'll give that link here how to download Java also if you are not having in your system. Before that, points to note. If your system has 64-bit, then go for 64-bit Eclipse and 64-bit Java only. Download when you are downloading Java. If you go for 32-bit Eclipse and 64-bit Java, your Eclipse will not open. Be careful for that. If your system is 32-bit, then go for 32-bit Eclipse and 32-bit Java. Even if your system is 64-bit, you can go for 32-bit Eclipse and 32-bit Java. But make sure that Java bit number and Eclipse bit number is matched with compatibility. Don't go with 64-bit Eclipse and 32-bit Java, or 64-bit Java and 32-bit Eclipse. This compatibility will not match at all. Select the same compatibility. Either you go for 32 for both or 62 for both. Okay, and check what Java version you have, or just Google the net and download the particular Java version, 64-bit or 32-bit, and even with Eclipse. Right, this is, if not, your Eclipse will not open. Once again I am saying, make compatibility error, it will throw. Use the same number, either 32 or 64. If you're having 32, no other option you have to just use 32. No, 64 you can't use. But if you have 64-bit system, you can go for either 32 or 64, but both numbers should be same. Either Eclipse and Java should have compatibility. Just remember this. Okay, are you any confused with this? No, right? Downloading. Hello.
I'm good.
No,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Now, our project is ready. Okay, in project we have to create a classes where we can write, actually our code is in the classes. A project will have a set of classes. I will mention you how we will create our architecture. Creating a project, then creating classes in project, writing programs code in classes. This is the method procedure we follow here. Project is nothing but we create a set of classes in particular project, and in each class we will write a specific test case. Okay, I'll tell in the terms of manual testing. Classes is nothing but test cases. Just feel that as test cases. If you have 5 test cases, this is nothing but project is nothing but test suite. I'm telling in the testing terminology, so it will be clear with you. Creating a project means now we created a test suite. Then inside it we have to create test cases, right? For that, we'll create a classes. In each class, we will write one test case. If you want to have, if your test suite needed 5 test cases, we'll write 5 classes, and each class we will write code for particular test case. For example, I want to open google.com. This is my first test case. I'll write in first class. I want to open some other website. I'll create one more class, and I'll write that particular test case in that. So for that, we created a suite now. Project suite is ready. Next thing is to create a classes, right? With screenshots, I'll tell you how to create a class. Just come here, right click, new. Same thing. Before we selected project, now we have to go for class. That's all. I'll take screenshot. Okay, once again, but that should be done in right click on src folder. Don't right click on webdev folder, I mean project name folder. It will get for you, basically it will get like this. Just open here, and this is src folder. Here you give right click, new, and class. I have given screenshot, right? Okay, I'll take again this screenshot. It is saying that you are at webdev1 project under src folder. That is a path name you have to give. First program. This is my class name, right? And see here, if you want automatically our program with main method, if you know Java, or if you anytime work with Java, you have to start from basics like public, static, void, main. You have to write everything from the beginning, right? No need. Just it is already ticked by default. You just click on finish, that's all. See now we are in the first program. Now we are in the first program. This is the class, and inside code you see by default you got with class and the main method. You did not write. We just tick there, and automatically it gave everything. Outside structure is already built in Eclipse. This is the flexibility we have in Eclipse. Outside structure is already built. Inside here we have to start with our program from inside main. That's it. Okay. Everything will come as like ready-made only, like main function class. You no need to worry like how we have to give a class name, public, everything. So braces also, it will come with all braces also, closing braces, everything. Just we have to write what we are writing code. That's all. Here we have to mention our WebDriver code. This is the area where we write our code. And just after completing code, we have to run the program, right? This is the button where we can run program. Or come here and give right click, run as. Currently we are using Java application, right? Click here, Java application, it will run. Or you can go directly by clicking on this button where you can run program after you write the code. Okay, this is, I mean, outer structure before starting the WebDriver. How to create a project, how to download Eclipse Visa, and how to, download jar files Visa, how to create project completed class. And now last basic thing before completing outer structure is importing jar files into project. This is the main thing. Till now, Selenium is nothing. There is no Selenium WebDriver in our program. What we have done till now, there is no Selenium. We have just downloaded Eclipse and we have created one project, Java project. That's all. Only Java is there now. There is no Selenium till now. We have to import jar files into our project. Then only Selenium will get injected into our program. So we'll start with screenshots only. Better you will not forget. Okay, importing jar files. Just go here and click on project name webday and give right click. Okay, this is the first screenshot. And click on properties. For class and project, we went for new and just clicked on project and class, right? Now everything is created. Now we have to set the properties of the project. That is our aim. Just click on properties. This last thing. Okay, you will get the screen like this. This is Java build path. See here, this is the screen you get after clicking on properties. Now we have to import your jar files into it. For that, go here and click on this button, add external jars. Okay, I'll mention you here before you will get confused. Add external jars. Click on this button, add external jars. Okay, navigate to the page where you have this folder. Okay, when you download the Selenium WebDriver, right? Jar files, after zipping, I told this will be in this format, right? Navigate to this particular path in your system and click on this. First of all, click on control, select these two jar files and click on open. These two will be added. But still we have so many, right? I shown you. Click on again, add external jars and click on lips. So you have a lot of jar files. You have to import these also. If you miss any one of the jar file out of this 100 jar file, I don't know number, like the example I'm saying, if there are 100, if you miss one also, your WebDriver program will not run. If you import 99 also, no use. You have to import each and every jar file of WebDriver into your program. Then only you are able to run the WebDriver code. Now we have completed these two importing, right? Next, but still we have a lot of jar files in the lips folder. Just click Control A. Everything will get selected, right? Click on open. That's all. All the jar files are now imported into my project. See here, everything came, right? Now they got imported into my project and I'll just click OK. That's all. See, it's displaying now. All jar files came into my project. I'll just close, not required. This is the way to import jar files into our project. WebDriver jar files into our project. Right? I think now you are clear with how to create a project in Eclipse, how to create a class in Eclipse, and how to import jar files into project. Okay. Do you have any doubts till now?
No.
No.
Good. So we are ready with our program now. Everything is right. So jar files we imported, project we created. Now we have to start the coding of first line. Before writing the first line, we have to know about these things. I'll tell you. Okay, these 5 we completed now. Loading jar files. WebDriver interface. What is the interface? Now, before York asked me one question, how to know that Firefox, it will done in Firefox browser or it will do with Internet Explorer, how internally it happens, how internally it will select a particular browser and it will continue automation. York asked me question before, right? Now you will get answer for this. For anything, for if you are having any doubt, just go to official documentation, because that is the place only everyone can learn, and it's open source tool. They will not provide any demos or something. The only place any student can learn is their official documentation of Selenium only. If I get any doubt, I'll directly go to official documentation. I'll try to learn from there. Official website. Go here as usual. Okay, where you get documentation is, before we saw here Java, and we clicked on here for WebDriver files, right? Jar files. Now for Java doc, click on Java doc. You will get everything about WebDriver. I mean, like not only WebDriver, anything, all about Selenium. See, this is the where all the packages, classes, interfaces, everything we have here, and we have to learn and code everything from here only. It's look like something disgusting, but no worries, everything easy. We'll go by step by step. That see here, look at here. Things which are in italic are interfaces. Things which are in normal are classes. Remember that. Okay. Now action is an interface here, and these are all classes here. Italic terms are interface. Now we are interested in WebDriver, right? As our course is dealing with WebDriver, I will select WebDriver. Right. Now interface WebDriver. See here. What is interface? First question we'll get. Interface in the sense, interface will have methods, like what to perform, and everything will have methods, but they don't have a body. If you see a definition of interface in Java terms, interface will have an abstract methods. Abstract in the sense method which does not have body. It will have only syntax, right? To implement methods, then how to implement the methods of the interface which are not having body? Only classes can implement the methods which are present in interface. Now here in our case, WebDriver is the interface. Okay. Again, I am telling definition of interface is, and I will write here better. Wait, I have an material regarding that which I explained in demo class. Yes, see here the day 2 material. The Java interface defines a set of methods, but that does not implement them. It cannot implement. It have a lot of methods. For example, what are the methods? You get it out. This is our WebDriver interface, right? So it will have methods. So these all are methods. Close, find element, get current URL, get title, how to get title using everything. These all are methods which we are using in automation. Going forward, we'll use all these methods. Okay. To implement these methods, we need classes. A class that implements the interface agrees to implement all the methods. We need classes to implement the methods which are present in the interface. This is the basic definition of interface. Okay, in general we'll tell as interface have an abstract method. Abstract methods in the sense methods which have the only does not have the body. They have only syntaxes. But to implement those methods, we will use classes. So what are the classes then? So what classes we have to use to implement the methods in the interface is the next question. Now, Selenium team has provided these are the following classes. All known implementing classes is there, right? See here. They declared that these are the classes which we can use to automate, to implement the methods present in WebDriver. These are the classes. You can use these classes. By using these classes, now I can execute all these methods of WebDriver interface. This is the basic thing you have to know, like before starting the first line of the code. Only first line of the code, now what I'm going to write is common to every WebDriver program. So before writing, you have to know what is interface and what are classes and what classes are doing, right? Nothing we'll write. The first step what we are going to write is we will create a class object for the class, and we will tell go and implement the methods of interface of WebDriver interface. That's it. That is the only first step we'll write. To know about the first step, you have to know about the footage of this. Like clear, right? Once again, I'm explaining you. Selenium guys provided us an interface, that is WebDriver. Basically, what is an interface means? Interface has an abstract methods, but it in itself cannot implement those methods. In general, we will choose classes. If you are writing a Java program, you will create one class and then you will call implement the methods of your interface. But here, the Selenium guys provided us these are the classes where you can use to implement methods of WebDriver. Okay, I'll show you my data material here. WebDriver is interface, and these are the classes. Now, two questions will be answered here. Uh, you asked Safari driver, right? Even you have Safari here. And next thing is you have asked me how you will come to know in what driver and what browser we are doing. If you want to automate your website using Firefox browser, then go for Firefox driver class. See here, it's blinking. I kept my mouse there. Right. If you want to automate your website using Internet Explorer, go to create an Internet Explorer driver object class. How, which class to select? Okay, they told these are the classes you can use to implement methods of WebDriver. There are a lot of classes. What class you will choose is the question. What class you have to choose? Before that, you have to decide in what browser I am going to automate. Okay, if you have answer to that question, then you have answer to this question. Now I want to automate using, I want to do in Android, then go and choose Android driver. I want to do an iPhone, go and choose iPhone driver. In, we can do it in lot of class browser. Okay, we'll do by using Firefox driver. For example, I'm taking Firefox driver to automate my classes. In Firefox object, I want to automate my websites. So what class I have to choose here? Firefox driver is the class I have to choose to implement methods of WebDriver. This is a basic thing. Now, steps for creating class object. I told you, right, we have to write one step here, which is common to all the WebDriver programs. Later on, we will write an automation of how to click an element, how to find an element, everything. Before that, we have to initialize what browser I am using, in what browser I am going to automate, and what interface methods I am using here. Two we have to keep in mind. First thing is, now we are clear that we want to automate our website in Firefox browser. Clear, right? Go here and choose what is the class here, Firefox driver, right? Just go here and type Firefox driver. Okay, now create an object for the class. Okay, now we have to create an object for the Firefox driver class. Creating an object in the sense, it is simple. If you give like this new, that's all, object is created. Basically, what is new means it is an memory allocator. It allocates a space for an object of the class. By using object of the class, we can manipulate the methods. If you know with Java basics, you will be clear about what is an object. The method of creating an object for a class is new space class name. That's all. Object is created. New space class name is a syntax to create an object for the class. I'll mention here. Okay, object is created. Now we have to give name to an object. Okay, you can give any name. We'll go with we'll follow some rules. Okay, till completion, of course. Object in the sense, I told you In every program, we write this step common. Creating class for object and calling methods of interface is the common thing, right? So going forward, we'll use driver is our object for this class, right? Now, now next thing is this driver class should this driver object of Firefox driver class, what it should do? It should implement all the methods present in WebDriver, right? I'll mention like this, WebDriver. That's it. This is our first line of code. You know what is this sense? Child class in Java there is a rule like child class referring to parent class directory. That means my driver is now referencing to WebDriver interface so that it can implement or it can do manipulations in this WebDriver interface. That is why I'm writing as reference by keeping left side. There is a one rule in Java like child class reference to object, a parent class. Now here interface is parent because we are going to implement the methods in parent, right? So this is the only syntax common for every WebDriver program. People generally will come, oh, we need a lot of Java to know Selenium. Nothing like that. If you are clear with this step, that's all. We never use Java. Later we all use WebDriver commands only. We'll use Selenium like special Selenium only. So only this step we will recall our Java concepts. That's all. After this step, there is nothing. We have all the special commands to open website. We have command to click. We have command. Click is the command. Everything we can go smoothly. This is the one step you have to keep in mind. For every program, this is the common. I want to write in. If you want to decided to automate your website using Chrome, right? You want Chrome, Google Chrome to automate your website, that browser. Just click your Chrome driver. That's all. Everything remaining thing is common. However, creating object is common and assigning it to interface is common. Only thing you have to change here. That's all. One class name you change. No, if you want to automate your website using Internet Explorer driver, just write here Internet Explorer. That's it. This these all steps is common. Just you have to change class name where you want to change. Now, okay, we are going forward. Here we will do with first step today with Firefox. That's all. Oh, I did not bring. Okay. Other thing to note is, see here you are getting some red line under WebDriver and Firefox driver. Identified, right? Some red line you are getting. That means error. Why it is error? This is the basic thing you have to remember. Just move your mouse to here. Just move your mouse here. Then you are getting some fixes. See, import Firefox driver. Now, what all are these? We have imported jar files right before. That all are it is that all we should import into our project now. Class now. Now before we imported into our project, but we did not import into our class. Okay. No need to specially go and import. You write something directly. Eclipse will tell what to import. It only will give us fixes. You just click on here. Import Firefox driver open qa.selenium. It is telling. Just click here. That's all. See the step. This step came forward and error gone here. This is the beauty of the Eclipse using Selenium. You have everything fixes here. No need to go in Java. If you are a Java developer, you will come to know. You have to write import, everything. Don't write anything. Just write simple program. First of all, you will get error. Just move mouse there. Again, here I am getting error. What it is saying? Change to WebDriver org.openqa.selenium. Okay. I am clicking on this link. Automatically, see here, this is also got imported and error gone. That's all. Everything fine. No error and nothing in our program. There are two jar files related to WebDriver and Firefox driver got imported. We did not write this two, nothing. We just write our code. We got some red line. I'll remove again and I'll show. Okay, I removed. Now I'll get red line seen. Nothing. I got red line. I just moved my mouse here. It got blinked here. I just clicked here. That's all. Remember, if you don't upload your jar files into project, then you won't get fixes like this. If you import your jar files into project, then only it will ask for fixes. Go and fix this. If you start simply by writing program without importing jar files, as what we discussed before, then you won't get these fixes. That means if you are getting error and now you are not getting any fixes, means see that you are not installed your jar files properly and install once again. Right? That is the thing. If you get error under void, I'll tell you based on students will come from me, like I am getting error here and there. With their experiences I'm telling, if you get error underline here WebDriver or Firefox driver, then import. If you are not getting any options, then your jar files are not imported properly. And if you get under error under void static main here, then your Java is not installed properly. If your Java is installed properly, you won't get any error here. If you are getting something error here, means your Java is not installed properly. If you are getting error here, means your Selenium jar files are not imported properly. Right? Any doubts till now?
No.
Hello? No doubts, right? Hello?
No.
Yeah, okay, good. So for today, we'll just see how to open a website, right? Now this driver has all the power to automate now. In this driver, now we are having Java, WebDriver, Firefox browser. Now this driver knows three things. First of all, I have Java with me. Second, now I am going to automate using Firefox browser. Third, I am going to implement all the methods present in WebDriver interface. So driver has everything now. Just everything is ready now for us. All setup is ready. Interface, importing, writing, everything. Now we will open google.com, right? To open any website, okay, to open one URL, not website, to open one URL, the method you have to use is get. I'll tell you to open URL. I will write now driver dot. See, these all are the fixes, suggestions it is giving. You can use all of these functions. We can use with the driver. In Eclipse, this is also a beautiful thing. It will tell everything what to use. After completing the course, you will come to know about each and every function and their usage. And I will make a code in such a way that I will use all these functions in one or two other program. Finally, after completing course in my programs, I will use every function somewhere or other. I'll make you familiar with all the functions present in this year, right? But today, as basically I told about get. To open an URL, go here. There is some get is there. See, in order to remember also things, everything will come in here. Handle only. Click driver dot and wait. You will get. No need to remember all the functions which is for what. By seeing, you will get an idea. Just before we talked about get, okay, let's go with get. I will give the google.com URL here. Okay. Once again, I'm telling Google get function is used to open an URL, right? Enter a URL here and make it in double quotes. Don't forget to write it in double quotes. If you don't write in double quotes, it will throw an error. Simple. Just move your mouse here. It is telling, see, missing quote. Everything 95%, I think Eclipse only will suggest us if you are getting any error. I did not write double quote. I just moved. First of all, you will get red line and you will get C error, wrong mark. Just go here. It's telling missing quotes. Just insert. That's all. Error will go. Now our code is ready with one step. That is google.com should open in Firefox browser. Why it should open in Firefox browser? Because I have used Firefox driver class. Right now, I'll run the program. I'll click here. Let's see what happens. It is saying save and launch. Okay. It's loading. See that Firefox browser is getting opened. Did you observe? Yes, Google homepage is open. See, I just click on run. What things we remember to see here? It is open in Firefox browser because I have written used Firefox class. Why it has opened in google.com? I told you that get function is used to open the URL, and here is directly we are giving this URL, so it got opened there. I'll mention you here. Get is used for opening. After completing the class, I'll mail you this code also. No need to worry and don't write in your notepad. Just listen here. Don't waste your time. everything. I'll send you the in mail. I'll just copy paste here in document at last, and I'll send you the each and every day after discussing the code. I'll send you the code also. You can just directly copy and paste in your Eclipse. But don't do it if you have any. Just try on your own. If you get any doubt, just copy paste and see how it is working. I'll send you the mail. Okay. Now we are clear with the first function, how to open a URL. Okay, we'll see one more final function for today, right? I want to know what is the title of Google. Now my test case is open the URL and check, verify that it is navigating to proper URL or not. How to check? We will check by title. Now test case may be like that case, right? Now verify the title of this web page. If it is some Yahoo, then some hacking has happened and it's navigating to some other page. We'll come to know. This is one of the test case. So we want to know what is the title of this page. For that, driver dot. See here. Just observe one by one. You will come to know what is the title for finding title. What is the function? See here. Get title. It's simple, right? Get title is the function to get the title of that particular page. I'll click on here and I give this. That's all. You will get. But I want to see it in output. I mean in console I have to see. I have to see it in output to print. For that in Java what we'll use system.out.println so that I can see in my output. If I don't give driver.get title and system.out.println, it will get title. Okay, driver will find the title and it pull that. But where we have to see in output, right? For that we are using this system.out.println so that we can see in our output console that what is the title. Now I'll run again and I'll show you. Firefox browser is getting open. Google open, Google page. Now we'll go back to our Eclipse and I'll just move my Eclipse up. See, this is our output console and see Google is printed. That means we are navigating to correct page, right? I gave driver.get title and it brought as Google is my page. See here, and our test case is passed, right? We are seeing it in output, this console. If I don't go system.out.println, you can't see Google here because we have to verify whether it is matching with our requirement or not. So for that I gave in system.out.println and the function is driver.getTitle. I'll write in comments so that you can verify later. Get title of the page. Next, I want to know whether I am navigated to proper URL or not. For example, if you are good in searching, you will come to know, you will type one website, but it will navigate to some other website, some other ad website, right? If it get hacked or something. So I want to know what is the current URL of my opened google.com page. For that, we have one function. Today, in today's class, I'm discussing these are the basic functions of driver, right? So there are a lot of functions. I'll not explain everything in one day. I mean, first time only, because some functions will be known only when you are using some other topics. Some are related to some other topics. So after finally completion of course, once you open this browser, I mean the driver doc, you will come to know that you have cleared everything. But for today, I have some basic functions we are discussing. This find elements, everything. But as days goes on in our classes, we'll come to know one by one. Okay. For now, I'll discuss about what is current URL. See that there's the user defined functions, everything. By seeing, we can verify. Oh, this gives get current URL. Just click here. Right. Oh, 1 second. Again, same story. I have to see it in my console, right? I'll give in system.out.println. Right. I'll give run. Now we'll see what is our URL. Actually, it will come in output. Firefox browser got open. Yes, google.com. Let's see now uh, what exactly happened there. I'll move my sum up. Oh, it's still loading. Yes, see here, this is my URL. First of all, driver.get title, I got as Google. And yes, our test case is passed now. Yes, it's navigating to proper URL. We can see here, right? Like such, these are some basic functions like which may use in our test case a little bit functions, right? Before going to clicking on something and writing something, that's all the you will learn day by day. Any doubt till now?
Doubt.
No.
Yes. Uh, I think we'll revise once again what we discussed today because today we are all like we dealt with the architecture and how to write first program, loading property files and everything, right? So tomorrow we'll start with code. I mean separate with the coding and learning some integration parts, architecture parts. Once again, I'll briefly tell about how we started project and everything. Just listen for 5 minutes carefully, and I'll also explain tomorrow what is our agenda. Right? If I go on start with code again, you will confuse. We have some basics today, right? Are you okay with this?
Venkatesh, the classes are from Monday to Friday, right?
Yeah, that is it from Monday to Friday. Yeah, Monday to Friday.
Tomorrow is, yeah.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
Saturday, right? So we'll again on Monday. I mean tomorrow means Monday. I mean next class.
Okay.
Okay, tomorrow in the sense our next class. Okay, okay, right. First of all, okay, I'll start from. I'll not start from history because we have already document also. I'll send you right. You can see. You can go through history. I'll just tell what are the things you have to know for architecture. First thing is check. I'll give checkpoint here. In the which screenshots these are. Okay, in these screenshots I'll make some checkpoints. You follow this while downloading. Check Java is there or not. This is basic thing. Just see it is in your program files or not. That's it. If it is there, leave it there. It will work. Eclipse will work. Next, download Eclipse. Okay, for that, in my other document, I have gave link. Hope you saw that. Right? These are the links I have provided. I'm just providing a checkpoint. That's all. Next, download WebDriver jar files. After that, import jar files into. For everything, you have screenshots here. Step by step you can proceed from how to create a project and all. Okay, before that I had create project, right? Create project, then import jar files, then create class where test case, everything will get open. Then you write our basic function. WebDriver is an interface, driver is an object, is equal to new, open a thing where which class you want to do. For every step or any program in WebDriver, any program, you have to use these steps as common. Of course, if you do these two for first time, that's it enough. But for creating test suite or not, you have to repeat this every time. One more thing, if you are creating another class in same project, then no need to import jar files again and again. I'll show you it. Right now in this source folder, I have created a class, right? Now tomorrow I'll create one more class. Same project, same web day one, some DSRFS. Now no need to import any jar files for that unless until you move out of this web day one. Then you have, if you open again freshly another project, then you have to import jar files. If you are doing in same class every time, no need to import jar files every time. Just for once, if you import enough. For any class used in that project, you can go on proceeding with that. No need of importing jar files again and again. For once, it is enough if you are using classes in the same project, right? Oh, I have opened a lot of documents today. Right, check. I'll make it. Okay. check Java is there or not, and download Eclipse first, download jar files, you create project as for screenshots and import jar files, even for that you have screenshots, even for class, and just create the first basic thing, and just see the current URL. You start with basics for today, like what you can do with current URL, like how to open website, open your own website, what you want, and check its title and check its URL is correct or not. You can try like that, right? Are you clear with today class? Any doubts till now?
Yes, no doubt.
I'm good.
Everyone clear, right? Okay. In yes, good. In tomorrow class, what we'll be dealing is, I'll tell you now only. Locator techniques. If you know QTP, there is one object spy. We'll click on object spy and click here to know the property of that object. In Selenium, how do you find a particular button? Now, if I want to go and click on Google search, how do you do in Selenium? How Selenium knows I want to go exactly here and click, and I want to enter something. So how Selenium exactly know I have to go here and have to enter something? Locator techniques. So this will take up to 2 classes. There are a lot of locator techniques to be discussed in Selenium. How we will deal with locator techniques, and what strategies we use to find or to locate any web element in the page, and how to click on it. Everything will start tomorrow. I mean, from Monday, 2 classes will be locator techniques, like how to find an element in a web page, how to identify link, and that all. And slowly we'll start with writing programs. After, if I tell something concept related to that, I'll do one program. This will be in my strategy. Like if I tell you that how to identify some particular things, I'll do one practical program in front of you live, and I'll show you how it is identifying. For every concept, I'll do a related program for that. And after completing class, I will send you that program to you. You can try by copy pasting into your Eclipse, but before that, you try on your own, and then only you start doing that. So in next class, we'll discuss about locator techniques and all. Right? Fine, right? For today?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
And class will be 1.5 hour daily. I think your data we'll discuss, and Vanilla will discuss about class timings like 7:30